Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to break down ActiveTarget 2 settings. So if you run a Lowrance, I think this is going to be a very helpful video for you on how to set up your ActiveTarget 2. At least this is the way that I do it, and it's been working really well for me over the last several years that I've been using ActiveTarget. So let's get into that, and I'll show you guys just exactly how I do it. Got him. There's my bait behind that fish at 40 feet. He's coming, come on. Got him. It's ridiculous. We found him. All right, let's just start breaking it down right here. You can see I've got scout mode and forward-facing sonar on my boat. I'll go ahead and show you guys both, but we're gonna start with forward-facing sonar and exactly how I have it set. We're actually getting in here to a little bit deeper water right now, so I would rather have it at 35. I like a little bit more of the bottom showing on the screen. I don't want the bottom at the very bottom of the screen. I like it being about 3/4 of the way up, and I try not to mess with it too often because it does change the size of fish and how you're able to gauge the fish. Every time you change it, oh, hold on, there's a fish right there at 60 feet we gotta throw out real quick. Trying to do this video and a fish pops up on the screen. All right, we're not gonna mess with it. But when you adjust your settings, it does change the size of the fish on the screen. So that's one thing to always keep in mind. But we're out here really just chasing fish. You can see there's bait. You can see the bait here on scout mode really well. We've got it set a little bit further out, so there's two big balls of bait out there. You can see a fish swimming right there through the bait. But we're out here chasing bait, chasing fish that are feeding on the bait. And I don't really like having my, my distance too far when I'm doing that. The main reason is, well, number one, water clarity. I can only see, you know, maybe 2.5, 3 feet at the most right now. So I really don't want to be targeting fish that are 100 feet away. I've got it set on 80 feet, so I can basically be more accurate. What I try and do when I'm out here fishing like this for these suspended fish that are chasing bait, just totally roaming, is set that thing on 80, and I try and get the fish actually inside of 60 before I cast at them. And just having the screen zoomed in a little bit like that instead of being at 100, I feel like really helps me just be more accurate and be able to present a minnow or jerkbait, whatever you're throwing to them. It's just gonna make you be able to present it a little more accurately. I like keeping it at 80 feet, like to target the fish less than 60, really important. Keeping your bottom, not all the way, keeping the bottom of the lake, not all the way towards the bottom of the screen, but about 3/4 of the way up, or 1/4 of the way up, whatever, 3/4 of the way down. And then here's my actual settings. Contrast, this is a big one. I turn auto off. Right now I've got it set at 89%. Noise rejection, I have it at low. So if I turn it on high, you see how much it actually cleans up the screen, but it cleans it up so well that I also can't see my bait quite as well. So you're not gonna be as detailed if you do this. It's basically like, I don't know, it's almost like turning sensitivity down on 2D. You're gonna have a lot less clutter on the screen, but you're not gonna see as much. So you can see, I'm gonna go back in here, I'm gonna change that back to low. I don't like it off because that's gonna be quite a bit, but low. Medium might be all right, but I just deal with a little bit of noise in the screen, knowing that I'm gonna be able to track my bait better and see everything out there a lot better. And I just kind of forget about all the noise that's going on there. So contrast 89%, noise rejection low, palette is number 3, and I do not have stable view on. I always turn stable view off. So that is it. That is one of the things that I really love about Lowrance and ActiveTarget, and the reason I switched is just how simple it is to really plug and play these units and ActiveTarget on these units. It's not crazy. There's not a ton of settings that you need to know. I just try and keep it really simple, and I've been running this same method now for, this will be like my 4th year running it, and you know, it's been working really well for me, so absolutely love it. Now down here on scout mode, go over this real quick. This I do tend to leave out at 100 feet, just because the main thing for me with scout mode is I'm just looking for structure. And you know, even out here, I could use it to see balls of bait, but I'm not trying to find individual fish on it. So we have it turned on right now, but I'm actually not even using it, really. I could turn this graph off and be just fine out here. But now if we were up fishing around grass, fishing deeper water, I'll tilt the transducer a little bit in the deeper water. But the main thing is being able to see structure with scout mode out in front of the boat. I found some really juicy stuff on this at Santee Cooper. I caught some fish in the middle of a ditch that I found a little hard spot with scout mode, and I would have never seen it. I saw a few fish out there swimming around on it, but that wasn't as obvious as the actual hard spot. It showed up real bright white, almost like this bait ball right here. I was going down the middle of a ditch and there's this bright white spot, and really what it was a shell bed in like 1.5 to 2 feet of water, and I blasted them in that spot on a Fritz side 5, cranking that spot. So this is definitely replaced 360 for me. It's more of my structure tool, and this is my fish finding tool. That's the best way that I would put it. And then as far as your settings on this, I have contrast set at 81%, noise rejection off. We can see what it looks like if I turn it on high. Again, all your detail really goes away, and not a big fan of that. So we're gonna put that back at off. More options, again, palette 3. I do have the range grid set up here. I don't have it set up on forward facing, just because I feel like it does get a little bit in the way. So again, really simple settings, even on the scout mode, nothing crazy. Then, you know, I've been able to use these same settings too through the updates and everything. Lowrance is always putting out new updates, and you know, I can run these same settings with all the new updates. I don't really have to change that much. If I mess with anything, typically it's contrast, just messing with the contrast. You know, every lake's gonna be a little bit different with contrast, and especially in the spring when you start getting pollen and all that stuff in the water, or algae blooms, you gotta mess with your contrast a little bit more. But other than that, Lowrance ActiveTarget, super easy to use, super easy to set up, and just a great tool for forward-facing sonar. All right, let's show you what these settings look like with a minnow. We just have a max scent, flat nose jerk shad here, and a 3/16 ounce ball head. Nothing special at all, very simple, not tungsten, just lead. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Got him. Dude, please be a spot. Oh, dude, I think it's a tank spot. No, it's a largemouth. Gosh, I hope you guys saw that. That was cool. I thought it was a big old spot. He had this really dark back to him. It's a nice one though. Really nice one. Hopefully you guys saw that on the screen. I know I did. There you go, buddy.
Well, the settings work.
All right, guys, I think the settings worked. Those fish were really close, but I don't know, we threw it out there about 40 feet. Again, I don't want to see those fish at 100 feet when I'm out here doing this, so I want to be able to see them closer, be more accurate, and not have to make as many casts to the same fish trying to hit them. It just helps you be more efficient doing it this way. All right, so there's a fish right there around 40 feet. We're gonna throw it out there. That fish is really close to the surface. So I'm actually gonna try and work my bait. Golly, dude. I think we found the biters. That's crazy. We've been fishing all day. I mean, we've caught fish, but to be able to do it basically back-to-back casts like this while we're trying to show you guys the settings is crazy. What you'll notice though is these fish are super close to the surface, and I'm able to, with ActiveTarget 2 in these settings, I'm able to track my bait Like as soon as it hits the water, I'm on my bait and I'm able to keep it above the fish's head. So we'll try and give you guys a little demonstration, if we can do it without catching a fish, of what it actually looks like on the screen. So let's just throw out here, oh geez, 40 feet, there's another one. There's my bait behind that fish at 40 feet. He's coming, come on. Got him. It's ridiculous. We found him. That's insane. I mean, if that's not a tutorial right there on how to catch them with scope and a minnow, I don't know what is. We have literally made 3 casts in a row and caught a fish 3 casts in a row, just trying to show you guys the settings. There's some right here at 20 feet. We just found them is the deal. There's my bait, 20 feet. Those fish were moving pretty quick. Let's see if we can find another one out here. Golly, man, that is crazy. It never is that easy. Like, that's ridiculous. My camera guy, Jordan's laughing because he knows. He's been with me all day. We're gonna cast out there and try not catch one this time, and just show you guys how well the bait shows up further out there, distance-wise and all that with these settings. So let's give it a little cast out there. Should be about 65 feet, 70 feet. There's the bait. About 5 feet down. And we're just gonna track that all the way back to the boat. So if I want to let it sink, get down to some fish, I can see it. The main thing when you're doing this is keeping your foot on the trolling motor and just tracking your bait. So many people will take their foot off the trolling motor and they're not able to track the bait if it just moves just a hair. You know, the wind pushes you a little bit off to the side or anything. These angles are really small. So keeping your foot on the trolling motor, finding your bait when it lands with these settings, and then keeping your foot on the trolling motor and watching your bait all the way back to the boat. That's a big deal. I think a lot of people overlook that and don't think about just, hey, I've got to track the bait with my foot the whole entire time. You do. I mean, it's not going to do it for you, not yet anyways.
We'll just do one more.
Do another cast out there, 65 feet, 60. If I want to let it, if that was a bass, if I really felt like that was a bass, I'd burn it up and then let it fall. But so many times, though, that is a drum right there, and it might be a bass. He did it. He did bite it. But so many times those are drum. You let them fall down further, and you just catch a lot of drum doing that. All right, guys. Hey, hopefully these settings will help you catch more fish with your ActiveTarget 2. We got to head back to the house, but we appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our new videos coming out. We're putting some stuff out about every other week or every week right now. So we'll see you guys next time. Take care.